And now we'll call this Thursday, October 23rd, 2014, regular meeting of the Sac Metro Fire District's Board of Directors to order. We'll begin this with a Pledge of Allegiance. The open session meeting is videotaped for cablecast on Metro Cable 14, replayed on Saturday, October 25th, 2014 at 1 p.m. and Monday, October 27th at 6 p.m. on Channel 14, webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Open session meetings are also available for viewing on the district's website at www.metrofire.ca.gov. The public is provided opportunities for matters of interest within the jurisdiction, including items or not on the agenda. Do we have any public speakers this evening?
Yes, we do. The first is Mr. Mitchell.
Board President Ozali, our director, Mr. Gary Monk, directors, Chief Wells, congratulations. It's good to see you in that seat this evening. Staff, men and women of Sac Metro Fire. Just a quick reminder, I know I've stood here for the last couple of meetings and, shall we say, pleaded for your attendance at our fundraiser. The money going towards the restoration of Rilland's second fire truck. So just as a reminder, but on another issue, seeing that Mr. Fred Buno is in the audience this evening, the person in charge of your shop facility. I would like to tell you tonight publicly, he's been wonderful to us. He has two mechanics that works for him. One recently retired, and I would admit to you in full disclosure, it's my stepson, but Mr. Harold Bowers and another one, Mr. Scott Courtney, have donated a tremendous amount of time helping us with this restoration. And when we've been short tools or a special tool we don't have, loan it to us right out of their toolbox. Anytime we need something. Now, Fred has told us certainly not to disrupt his shop, and we try to not to do that. But I'm glad he was here this evening so we could publicly acknowledge him and to let this board know how thankful we are that Fred has been so helpful and that this board and this administration allows that to occur. So prepared to answer any questions about the fundraising dinner or what we're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And
There are no more speakers this evening.
thank you. Moving then to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we adopt. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Would the board clerk please call the roll?
Director Monk?
Aye.
Wood?
Aye.
Gould?
Aye.
Pearson?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
And Rosali?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving then to the presentation items. The first item is the Civilian Life-Saving Commendation to Skylar Berry.
Good evening, directors, public at large, and all of our fire staff that's here in the audience tonight. My name is Mark Wells, obviously the fire chief, and tonight we have a tremendous opportunity to recognize an outstanding person in our community. And Skylar Berry, could you please come up with me here? Okay, we'll kind of face the group here. I'm going to say a few words, and then we're going to have some media clips. On Saturday, September 27th, 2014, Metro Fire's Engine 25 and Medic 25 responded to a reported seizure. Upon arrival, the crew found an 11-year-old male prone on the deck of a swimming pool with multiple bystanders standing by to help him. The patient was assessed and transported to the hospital. Let me tell you what is interesting. That's obviously a very serious call, and we take that very seriously when we get those calls. But for tonight, Skylar Berry is standing here before us, who, with her mother Marissa, and her grandfather, who is Dennis Berry, who has been with us as a reserve firefighter for over 33 years, I believe, working out in the Rio Linda area. Their shining star here, Skylar, she had actually prepared for this moment, believe it or not. Thankfully, that was the case because according to the bystanders that were on scene, the bystanders jumped into action and they were happy to report that the boy was fine on arrival. And then Marissa's mom was told by the adults on scene that by all the other adults at this pool party, that this young boy was actually found at the bottom of the swimming pool, unlike the dispatch. And at that point, she was pulled to the side of the pool, out of the water, and that's when Skylar jumped into action. She yelled for somebody to call 911 and immediately started hands-on CPR. According to the American Heart Association, 90% of the people who suffer out-of-hospital cardiac arrest die. CPR, especially performed immediately, can double or triple a victim's chance of survival. So how did Skylar learn about this hands-on CPR? We're proud to tell you that Skylar attended Metro Fire's fire camp. As you know, fire camp is a 4-day camp where we teach 11, 12, and 13-year-olds in our community life safety skills and show them the different aspects of the fire service. This year, we added hands-on CPR to the curriculum. Because of Skylar's age and her quick life-saving actions, her story was caught both here locally on the news and also with the national media. So, Skylar, I'm going to have you sit back down for a second, and we're going to play some video clips to let everybody see this actually in entirety.
Me and Bailey are gonna show you what CPR is.
The 6th grade classes at Orchard Elementary were a little different today.
And push down 1, 2, 3.
11-year-old Skylar Berry is adamant everyone should know CPR. She's teaching her classmates the very easy method of hands-only CPR.
1, 2, 3.
Doing just compressions to the beat of... She and her friends have even started a CPR club, cleverly called Staying Alive.
It can happen at any second or any time. It could be choking on food to drowning in a pool.
But why is an 11-year-old so laser-focused on CPR?
Thank you. This is the fire department when the absence of the emergency. We call it.
Because at a birthday party on Sunday,
She was gone, like right in front of all of our eyes. We lost a friend.
the kids were playing in this pool in Antelope when they realized
As he got deeper, we noticed, and my friend Manuel was like, he's not playing around, I know my friend. I checked his pulse and I was like, there's no pulse. So I started the CPR.
I thought he wasn't gonna make it. I thought there was gonna be a death.
David Bulsley was the birthday boy.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen an 11-year-old do CPR on another kid. It was just so relieving.
Relieving because he is one of their friends and is a little overwhelmed by the attention, but he was back in school on Monday and is just fine.
I just started crying. I was so proud. I couldn't believe it.
Marissa is Skylar's mom.
And I asked her, I said, how did you know that? And she says, Mom, fire camp, duh.
Fire Camp is a summer camp put on by Metro Fire, teaching kids fire safety, CPR, and more. Skylar is the one in the blue shorts. She learned CPR right before school started.
You cross and go down.
And now she'll spend whatever free time she has this school year teaching others to save lives.
Real life situations are serious. It's not time to mess around.
In Rio Linda, Nick Monticelli, News 10.
We love to honor children who make a difference, and we call them our lunchbox heroes. Today, our hero is an 11-year-old girl whose bravery, quick thinking, and a summer spent at fire camp saved her friend who was laying lifeless at the bottom of a swimming pool. Skylar Berry is our lunchbox hero, and this is her story.
What is the address of the emergency?
She's only 11 years old, but when one of her friends needed help, Skylar Berry jumped into action.
We were swimming, and we noticed that my friend was having a problem, and we dove in, but my friends grabbed him. As we were pulling him out, I checked his pulse, but there's no pulse whatsoever. So I yelled to an adult, somebody call 911.
Is it okay? I was breathing. Okay, so wait.
As the call was being done, I started the CPR. I was pretty scared that he was gonna die in front of all of our eyes. I don't know what happened, I just thought fast and I did it.
The sixth grader just learned CPR this summer at a camp run by the fire department. And her grandpa, who has been a volunteer firefighter for more than 30 years, could not be prouder.
If Skylar wouldn't have went to fire camp this year, she probably wouldn't have thought to start CPR. It made a big difference.
After getting emergency medical care, Skylar's buddy made a full recovery, and her friends think she is pretty cool.
It's not something you see every day. Instinct to do that. It's amazing. I thought, oh my god, you just saved a life. Like, how amazing is that? That's like a once in a lifetime thing. I want to be able to learn everything that Skylar learned and know what to do.
Skylar wants that too. So at 11, this brave young girl is already teaching other kids exactly what to do.
Me and my friends started a group called Staying Alive, and we're just basically teaching other students and adults and kids how to do CPR. It is the most important thing in the world.
Please welcome from Rio Linda, California, Skylar and her mom, Larissa. And you know, Larissa, I'm watching you. My eyes are filling with tears. You got very teary watching that video.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just proud. She used the skills that they taught her, and it's an amazing thing. Very proud.
It's a really amazing thing, and you certainly did use those skills, Skylar. But I have to imagine that was a very frightening moment for you.
It was.
What was going through your head?
Well, I was scared, but I was trained and I knew what had to be done. But I was crying during the chest compressions.
Worried that maybe it wouldn't work?
I was just scared. I didn't want to lose a friend.
Of course not, and you did such a good job. And your grandpa's in the audience right there. You must be very proud, gentlemen. This is quite an amazing, grandchild. Skylar, I have to ask you, how is your friend doing? Is he okay?
He's okay, yes. He recovered. He came to school the very next day. The Monday.
Does he call you his angel now? No. Okay. He's still a boy and you're still a girl. I heard that you're a huge baseball fan.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Who's your favorite player?
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, the Angels, huh? Okay, you know I'm a Red Sox fan, but the Angels are great. He's really good. He's really good. Do you know his number?
27.
I mean his phone number.
Oh.
Oh, you don't know his number? Oh, I know his number. Mike, are you there?
Skylar. How's it going?
Good.
Mike, just want to congratulate you and just tell you how proud we are of you. Just what you've done at such a young age, you know, just how brave you were. It's truly, amazing. And it'd be awesome if I can meet you and your family, next year during a game. Can you make that happen?
She just took his picture at the Empire State Building next to his picture.
Oh, there you go. So, would you have anything you'd like to say to Mike?
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's a little shocked.
Yeah. Mike, thank you so much for calling. You're fabulous.
Yeah, no problem. I can't wait to meet you guys and be awesome.
So, Skylar, has that sunk in what he's saying to you? Yeah, you're gonna meet him. That's pretty cool. I'm not kidding. He doesn't lie. Yeah, you get to meet him. woman, you deserve this. You deserve it so much. And you know what? The Angels, there's more than this. One more surprise for you for the big day. The Angels decided that you needed your very own baseball gear, so they sent this along for you until the big day. This is for you, sweetheart. This is all for you. Wow. Skylar, thank you so much. Marissa, thank you so much. You do?
It's from our group, Staying Alive.
Oh, I will wear this with pride. Look at this. Oh, thank you, baby. Skylar Berry, our Lunchbox Hero. For more information on what to do in emergency and to nominate your own Lunchbox Hero, go to our website. Mary, you got me so emotional, MaryBerryShow.com. And remember, if you're a fan, Game Over the World Series begins tomorrow night on Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, Skylar, if I could have you come up here one more time. I know you love this attention. Okay. In addition to the media attention, Skylar has been approached by the American Heart Association and has been asked to become an American Heart Association spokesperson. We believe the quick, heroic actions of Skylar Berry contributed to the saving of this child's life, absolutely, and she deserves to be recognized. And I can tell you this, that I think the word hero and heroic and all those different things are used a lot. But I will tell you, I cannot even contemplate one issue that could have been more deserving. You have a young person stepped up out of her comfort zone, fell to the level of the training. We never rise to our level of expectation. We always fall to our level of training. She did exactly what she was taught. She performed it exactly like the people that volunteered that day that taught her at fire camp how to save another human life. And so with that, it is with great honor, Skylar, that Metro Fire presents you. Step over here. The certificate, let me get this right because it's important. The certificate for life-saving commendation. This commendation is for the extraordinary efforts to protect and preserve human life on September 27th, 2014. Congratulations, you're awesome.
That's cool.
And Chief, if we could, I'd also like to have an opportunity to get a picture of Brenda Briggs with Skylar. Brenda's has done an incredible job with Fire Camp, and while I normally dedicate every meeting to thanking Larry Davis, I'm going to dedicate this one to thanking Brenda Briggs.
Okay, let me, I can probably do that. So
Yeah, get somebody that can use it.
I know my limitations, believe me. I think I'll stay here for the next one. Are we gonna?
Yep.
You know what, Chief, after that, why don't you just chuck me the pin and we'll call it good?
Chief, I appreciate that, but it's up to you, Director. Of course.
Chief,
Well,
one question before you go on, Chief.
Yes.
She formed a group, her little club. How many people are in the club now?
You know what, Skylar, you want to come up and tell us about your club and everything that you're doing? I think that'd be great. Yeah.
really?
Go ahead. Why don't you just let us know kind of what you're doing, because you've created a fantastic thing.
Alright, well, we had our first event in Rio Linda where we were teaching other students and kids how to do CPR. But right now we're working on our group still, so we have 4 people, the head, me, my friend Bailey, my friend David, and my friend Manuel.
Good for you.
How many kids do you think you've taught it to?
Well, my whole class and the other 6th grade class and the students who came to the store so we could teach them CPR.
Outstanding.
So is your plan to teach everybody in school, or are you going to other schools?
We're planning on going to other schools.
Cool, that'll be fun. You can see my wife at FC Joyce.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just an example of a force multiplier. When you make that ripple and it starts to come ashore and makes that big wave, 11 years old, you'll be hearing that name again, I'm sure. Thank you.
Absolutely.
When you're president of the United States.
Moving then, let's go ahead and move into item 2, the 15-year service for recognition for Director Grant Gould.
Great. Director Gould, you want to come out here?
Not really.
It's a tough act to follow, I know, but let me step out here real quick. On behalf of Metro Fire, 15 years is a long time, and every night the Board of Directors comes, or twice a month, but every night they're dealing with some issue with the board. Really leading this agency. This fire department has come through some very, very interesting times in 15 years. We formed, you were on the board of directors with Sacramento County Fire, correct? Correct. At the time of the merger, formed this agency into Metro Fire. Have come through, I'm the 5th fire chief, and a lot of enormous energy has come into that through some tough economic times, and been an absolute pillar to this community and this agency. And for that, fitting as a 15-year pin, and I would say that thank you very much for all your service, mentoring, and commitment to our community.
Fully vested.
Congratulations, Director Gould.
Thank you.
Moving then to, in presentation items number 3, Sustainability Business Award. So do we have someone making this presentation?
Ms. Kathy Galino?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm Kathy Galino. I'm with Sacramento County Business Environmental Resource Center, also known as BERC. I also do half-time economic development for the county at McClellan, so I wear many hats. I want to recognize Metro Fire. On September 18th, we held our annual Sacramento Area Sustainable Business Awards, and Metro Fire was nominated and won in the Transportation and Air Quality category. The Transportation and Air Quality Award was given to Metro Fire for their investment in improving environmental quality and doing the right thing. Not only is Metro Fire known for outstanding life-saving and property-protecting efforts, but they know how to do the right thing in many other instances. One of the options, or one of the things that they won for, was changing out some of the lighting fixtures and HVAC systems in many of the facilities and fire stations. At McClellan, they did a lighting retrofit that's going to save about $20,000 a year in energy savings. They also changed out, or opted to purchase Type 2 Sprinters ambulances, which use a diesel exhaust fluid system that produces less emissions, less particulates in the air that we breathe, and is also more fuel efficient, by about 3 times more fuel efficient. So with that, I would like to present the award. We presented this at the Board of Supervisors on September 9th, but we'd like to do it again, so if Chief Wells could come down.
resolution.
Outstanding, thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Burke, on behalf of the board, I want to thank you for taking the time to come out this evening. And Chief, I want to congratulate the department for this effort.
I'd like to say thank you very much. Actually, we appreciate the partnership and the acknowledgement. And I know a lot of those efforts were done over a number of years, and I think Chief Cochran was here and received the award downtown. And so thank you for everybody at Metro that is working collaborative toward that effort. So thank you.
And now moving into item 4, aircraft relocation project with Battalion Chief Griggs.
Good evening, members of the board. I have a very quick synopsis and update of where we are with our aircraft. First, I'd like to say thank you again for giving us the opportunity to obtain the aircraft and use it as a regional training asset. And I'd like to also thank Chiefs Wells, Holbrook, Daniels, and especially Larry Davis, who has been instrumental in helping us obtain this aircraft and move it on over to the Regional Training Center. With thanks also to Captains Idem and Aaron Castleberry. Phase 1, as you know, is when we picked up the aircraft. It was back in June of 2013, and it took us about 5 months to obtain. We put together a program that would establish training in fire rescue, multi-casualty incidents, aircraft fire rescue, and law enforcement as well, so that it would actually be, as I stated, a regional training asset. Currently, however, we've added to that. To this date, it has also been used in Positive Altitude, which is a program for children here in Sacramento put on by the California Capital Air Show that provides aircraft training and also information about aircraft vocations. It's been in the Capital Air Show twice, and it's had thousands of people through it. It's also been used for fire and rescue training. We've had SWAT in there twice, I believe. Is that correct, Larry? Training for Golden Guardian. And the FBI currently has interest in it as well. And move on to phase 2, which is what happened just a few days ago, where we picked the plane up, put it on a trailer, and moved it over to the Regional Training Center. And this has been funded by the JPA Project Reimbursement Agreement, which includes Metro Fire, Cal OES, and Sac City Fire. We'd also like to thank FedEx Corporation, because without them, this never could have been done. Also, Roebling Construction and American Crane. And to add to that, by the time we finish this project that you're going to see here in a couple moments, we had approximately 20 different agencies stemming from local to county to state and to federal assets, including more than 100 people that we put together as a team to make this work. They truly believed what our core values were by the time we were over with this. So that being said, we're on to phase 3 after the aircraft has been moved over to the Regional Training Center. And we have a question mark there because we're not finished with it just yet. We still have to decide whether or not we're going to use it as part of our debris field or whether we're going to use it by itself. And I'm sure that will be determined soon. That being said, I'd like to cue up the video, please. Michelle Idem took the video. We've got about 5 hours of video to watch. It has been condensed down to 90 seconds. The plane weighs just a little over 100,000 pounds. can see it's a blistering pace there.
I'm lost.
Could you back it up an inch? That's it? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief, for that presentation. And congratulations to everyone who was involved in this, with the exception of Larry Davis.
If that file's not too large, I'd love to have it. In form of
Sure.
email or
Is,
the video, that is.
Somebody drop it in this box.
can we make arrangements for that to happen? Fine, thank you so much. Moving then to, we're going to move at this point into closed session before we go to the action items. So at this time, we will adjourn into closed session. I'd like to reconvene the open meeting of the Metro Board of Directors. At this time, we're going to withdraw from the agenda item 1 of the action items. And that will be appearing on a subsequent agenda. Legal counsel, did you want to report out on closed session?
Yes, President Orzali. The board met in closed session to consider public employee employment of the fire chief's employment contract. There was no action taken. The board met on an employee discipline issue. As set forth in item number 2 of the agenda, no action was taken. The board met in closed session to consider the workers' compensation claim of Thomas Dunn, and by a vote of 6-0 with Directors Jones, Scheidegger, and Clark absent, voted to give authority to the district's workers' compensation third-party administrator to effectuate a settlement of that claim. The board finally met in closed session with respect to the workers' compensation claim of Troy Seminick, and by a vote of 6-0 with Directors Jones, Scheidegger, and Clark absent, voted to give authority to its third-party administrator to effectuate settlement of that workers' compensation claim. And that concludes the closed session report.
Thank you, counsel.
Oh, strike that, or not in court, sorry. Excuse me.
Your Honor.
Thank
Your
you. Your Honor. The board also met with respect to item number 4, the conference with the labor negotiator, as set forth in item 4, and no action was taken.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving then to the President's report. And first of all, I want to express my sincere appreciation for all of the support that I have received during my recent illness. This has been a very gratifying experience in the sense of Metro Fire comes together and supports their own, and I want everybody to know how much I truly appreciate it. This has been a pretty interesting time for me. So the second, I had in a previous meeting made an announcement about the formation of a committee to study the issue of overtime. I wanted to give you an update that I have met with the chief and legal counsel on that topic, and there will be a report coming forward from the chief on the topic of overtime, and those findings or discussion points will then go to the executive committee. And thirdly, I am so pleased to announce that the Public Safety Foundation is in the process of purchasing the first of the Lucas devices that will be provided to Metro Fire. And we are so excited about this first opportunity to bring this device on a broader basis to Metro and to other regional agencies as well. So thank you for that. Fire Chief's report.
Yes, good evening. Am I on here? There we go. You know, first off, I wanted to say, I wanted to give a little more recognition, I guess, on the airplane movement tonight. And I'll tell you what, there was a tremendous amount of moving parts to that. And I know it looks seamless up there, except for, you know, the tipping of the wings. It looked like it was going through a thunderstorm there. Really, shout out to, you know, Chief Daniels and Chief Griggs. I know Michelle Idem was there all day. I believe Chief Johnson was involved in that. Tremendous opportunity for us to get this resource, but it didn't happen without a lot of hard work. I mean, a lot of hard work, and that was on a Sunday morning, I believe, and safety brief and the whole thing. That was a big deal. They moved light standards. It looked pretty easy, but I think 5 hours worth of video would show a different story about how seamless, and you use professional people, and that's what it works out. But definitely a lot of work, so a shout out for that. I'd like to say also on the 14th of October, we started our 14-3 Single Role Academy. Had 12 recruits, with 7 of those being paramedics and 5 EMTs. Upcoming events, actually tomorrow night on the 24th is I believe the first annual Association Trunk or Treat. It's happening at Station 32 at 6 p.m. I'm going to be there with a decorated car, so we'll see how that works out. On the 25th, Saturday night, the Rio Linda Park District Dinner is being held as a restoration fundraiser for fire truck number 2 at the Rio Linda Park District Community Center, starting at 6 p.m. And I'll be there that evening as well, and I believe Roger Mitchell and company and a bunch of other folks will be there. Great cause. On the 3rd of November, I'm going to be with Director Monk at the Foothill Highlands Rotary Club. On the 6th, I'll be attending the Northwest County Business Alliance Luncheon. Save the date for the swearing-in ceremony on the 30th it'd be a week from tonight, 30th of October, 6 p.m., Citrus Heights Community Center for myself, the fire chief, and that's going to be not because of me being there, but I can tell you there's a ton of work going into that, and everybody behind the scenes that's putting that together, I sincerely appreciate that. On the 6th of November, the promotional ceremony for over 50 of our honorees, different folks in our agency that are promoting in the last number of months, over 50 of them that night, 6 p.m. at the Citrus Heights Community Center. I think it starts at 5:30 for refreshments, and then the ceremony itself is at 6. On the 7th of November, there's the Firefighters Burn Institute First Alarm Chili Cook-Off. That's at the California Automobile Museum from 6 to 10 p.m. No new hires to report. We have a reassignment of starting on the 27th of October. The EMS 24 Captain Scott Perryman will be coming in, who will be backfilling for Captain Cormier, who's done very well serving in that capacity, who will be rotating out. Retirements, firefighter Fred McKinley of 13 years of service, and our own Captain Ty Idem, 27 years of service, will be on the 18th of October. Recruitments, we're looking for dozer operator letters of interest from the ranks of firefighter and engineer. The final filing date will be November 12th. 2014 by 5 p.m. We have a fire investigator 1 and shift origin and cause fire investigator. It's a 2-year limited term career development non-peace officer position. Letters of interest for that are coming from the ranks of firefighter and fire inspectors. Final filing date for that is November 3rd. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. Moving then to General Counsel.
We have an operations report, Chief Taylor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
President Orzali,
Board of Directors, Chief Wells, Darren Taylor, the Deputy Chief of Operations for Metro Fire. I'm up here tonight to actually solidify what I do when I come up here every 2 weeks, and somebody else is now going to be doing that. Because of Chief Holbrook's leadership that he's done over the last 3 years that I've been here, he's encouraged those that were the ACs to come in here and actually give the operations report. Then that gives us the opportunity to interact with the Board of Directors and have the public understand what we do, and we can show our passion towards the people we represent. As basically my official first board meeting as the Deputy Chief of Operations, I would like to take the opportunity to inform you officially that I'm going to ask for the assistant chiefs of each shift when they're on duty, when they're responsible for that given day, that they'll actually be giving you the operations report. And I think that's a positive thing for them, and it gets them gives them the opportunity to express their gratitude towards the crews that are on duty that given night as their representatives, which I've been fortunate to do now for the last couple of years. So with that, this is also my first, as I stated, my first meeting as the actual Deputy Chief of Operations. And it's actually Chief Bridge is a new Assistant Chief in Operations. So officially, I'd like to welcome him to the operations group, and I'd also be remiss if I didn't also say congratulations to Chief Lozano, who is also a newly reported Assistant Chief. So I just wanted to actually let you know that that's kind of what I would like to do, and unless there's something that you actually have a question for me, it'll be the Assistant Chief that's on duty on that given night. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Taylor. President Orzali, board members, Chief Wells, here to report out for you on the operations since our last board meeting a couple weeks ago. Metro Fire has, let me get my numbers correctly here, had a total calls of 3,412 total calls, 17 working fires, 17 vegetation fires. We had 2,782 EMS calls, of which 2,045 of those were transported for 73% transport rate. Our partners have been big help for us. AMR during that time frame has also had 21 calls and 13 transports during those 2 weeks. Our training hours, we've logged 3,244 training hours. We've also attended 36 public education events. Some other good news is our viewers, the viewer hours. We've had 779,246 viewers attend or logging in or watching on TV any of our media events over the last 2 weeks as well. So those numbers are up, and thanks to our earlier presentation as well. Some other notes here. We do have an engineer's exam coming up, so our training division is working hard right now in preparing that engineer's exam. Let's see, and one other note to pass on. You were able to have photos at that photo session with that engine today, our pink cancer awareness engine. So you know it will have a fundraiser to go to at the Zen Sushi. That's at 915th Street in downtown Sacramento. So this is more of a regional local 522 type of event that where 10% of all receipts will be donated to the American Cancer Society. So that's going to be a big event that our engine will be there from 5 to 6:30 on that evening. And the event with the receipts will be, that time frame is from 4:30 to 10 p.m. But if you want to see our engine there downtown, that'll be from 5 to 6:30. Again, that's at the Zen Sushi at 915th Street. Any questions? All right, thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Moving now to General Counsel's report.
No report tonight.
And firefighters local 522. Okay, moving on to committee and delegates report. The executive committee, I would report that there is going to be coming to the executive committee further discussion about both the overtime issue, as I had mentioned, and there'll be a discussion about the new contract issues that are being put in place regarding administrative placements. The next meeting has not been scheduled, So moving then to the Communication Center, JPA.
President Orzali, members of the board, Chris Holbrook, Deputy Chief, Metro Fire. I am the newly appointed representative on the Communication Center, JPA, and today I'm happy to report that there was an election of board officers. A bus came through the building, and I am now elected the chair. With that, we took action on several items tonight, or this afternoon. The first being the Fire Service Medical Director. There was an RFP that was out. We only received one response to that. It was rejected for being non-responsive, and we will be seeking a much broader broadcast of that opportunity. In addition to that, typical this time of year with open enrollment, we fixed the employer's contribution under Employees Medical and Hospital Care Act. A typical thing that, as a matter of fact, we passed tonight here on consent as well. We also took up the RFP issue for board-up crews, and that is a list that cycles out of fire dispatch. That was opened up tonight, and it's kind of coincidental. I met Mr. Ralph Gomez in the audience tonight, who has addressed you several times. I sat with him and explained to him the process that we undertook and that we opened that RFP today. He handed me his 3-page letter that he was going to read to you tonight. Coincidentally, and he's from Domus Construction. He's approached you before. What's interesting about this letter, and a gentleman who has asked for this several times, he's nothing but complimentary. He just wants to be a part of the process. So to Mr. Gomez, I totally appreciate the fact that he was willing to reach out and said, just take a read of it. It's pretty cool. So with that, that's the end of my report, and I'll answer any questions if you have them. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Moving into the California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA.
The California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA, Mr. Chairman, has not met since I last reported out. We've got a new executive director, Chief Grijalva.
Yes.
And looking forward to good things. And we will meet again on the 11th of December.
Thank you. Finance Committee with Director Jones not being here, we will move on to the Policy Committee with Director Pearson.
We have not met since I last reported out, and we have no meeting planned.
Okay. Moving then to board members' questions and comments, and we'll begin with Director Monk.
Just real briefly, I think I mentioned at the last meeting that I attended the safety fair at Osh. That was very well received. We got a lot of credit from the public for having our equipment there. Roseville's Army Depot had their fire equipment out there too, and the public was really appreciative to have as much attention in the community from the fire service. Also, we handed out the red fire helmets that I picked up for the event, and just a suggestion, they were so well received, we need to get that back in the budget. At least some amount for handout materials, the fire helmets and everything for the public. That's all I have.
Thank you. And moving then to Director Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to say today the session, or what we got to see from Skylar Berry today, shows that all of us have the capability to do something good every day. And unfortunately, most people never get to see or hear that. And so I just want to let Chief Taylor now and Chief Holbrook, like before, the feeling or the belief that you guys have instilled all the way down the ranks to bring those issues up so people can be recognized is much appreciated. And it's great to hear that the captains and the firefighters bring those issues to your attention, and it's good to see that. So thank you.
Thank you. And Director Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just very quickly, congratulations to Skylar. As a parent who's lost a child to drowning, it was very nice to hear that she kept that from happening to another family. So kudos to that young lady, and I do hope she goes on to be President of the United States. Also, thanks to Fred Bino and his staff. I think oftentimes we take for granted the rolling stock of this organization and how good it is. And it only happens when you have top-notch people out there that work their tails off. And then we hear that in addition to keeping our 5,000 pieces of equipment rolling, they have time to also make antique things work to maintain the traditions of the fire service. So kudos, Fred, to all of your staff. Be nice to one day hold a meeting out there. We used to do that 100 years ago. Well, I think it was probably 14. We used to actually go out to some of our facilities and actually hold meetings. I kind of like that because it gave those people an opportunity to kind of show off where they work and what they do. And this place gets kind of boring after a while, so I think we should think about that when the weather gets better. And then finally, I'd like to recommend to my colleagues that we remember that cancer doesn't stop at the end of this month. It continues. We have men and women in this organization that fight that battle every day, and our loved ones do as well. So I'm going to make a recommendation that my colleagues consider that we keep Metro Pink until some other day, and that we just decide that it's in the best interest of our organization to continue to show people that it's a focus of ours, and that we keep that engine pink, and that we remind people every single day that not only do the men and women of this organization have a propensity for that disease, but so do our loved ones. And I think by just shutting off that idea at the end of the month really doesn't get at the issue. So I think it'd be okay to have a pink engine in our fleet. I'm sure Fred would keep it running very well, and I understand there's logistics, and I think we can overcome those. And then I'd also have to obviously recommend that the senior staff stop wearing pink at the end of the month.
Thank you, and let me concur with the last part of that as well. So moving then to Director Pearson.
Yeah, first I want to thank the young lady here that did the CPR. I went and talked to her afterwards, and I told her, I said, it's few and far between CPRs that I've been on with a successful outcome. And I mean, we get pulses back, but you give a steak enough epi and it's going to get a heartbeat, you know, so that doesn't really count. But when they actually leave the hospital, successful outcome, you get very few cases where CPR was not being done prior to us getting there and having it be a successful outcome. So that really did make the difference, I think. And then also I had the opportunity, I missed last board meeting. I was in Palm Springs. It was a very difficult conference for CSDA. I'm on their board, but it was an opportunity to meet with the other special districts and get some ideas. And one of the breakout sessions I attended was ARC funding, and we're way ahead of the curve on that. It's amazing. Some of these other districts now are just realizing that they've got a problem with their unfunded liabilities on medical. And I was able to share with them that we were taking the steps to not have that problem, and it was nice. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. And Director Kelly.
Mr. Chairman, all I would have to say tonight is congratulations, Chief Wells. And thank you to all the men and women that work for this district for the fine work that you do on a daily basis. As I've always said, we are a high-performing team, and it's proven day in and day out, and we owe you thanks, among the many, many other people that are staffing the firehouses, home with their families. Thank you.
And seeing there's no further business, we are adjourned.